Did you enjoy those noises? I hope so. Here we are then. We are all here together again. Nice to see you all. I hope you are feeling good on this Sunday. Yes, we are back together again. It is English Addict live from the birthplace of English, which just happens to be England. Oh, hello there. Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Duncan in England. I don't know why I feel so surprised to see you here, because I knew you were on your way. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. I hope you are feeling good and happy. I really, really hope so. Here we are again. Oh, my goodness. We have made it all the way to the weekend. In fact, the weekend, you might say we are coming towards the end of the weekend because it's Sunday. Oh, yes, we've made it all the way to Sunday. Isn't it nice? How lovely. So for those who don't know what this is, maybe you are flicking and clicking around YouTube. Maybe you have your Sunday afternoon to yourself and perhaps you are looking for something to watch on the internet. Well, my name is Mr. Duncan. I teach English on YouTube. I've been doing this for a long time. Some people say too long. And that's what I do. I've been doing this for many years, and of course I am here every Sunday, Wednesday and Friday for those who are wondering when I'm on. A lot of people still ask, Mr. Duncan, when are you on? Well, there is the answer. Sunday, Wednesday, Friday from 2 p.m. UK time. You can catch me every week. Here we are inside today. You may have noticed, inside the house today. Exactly. Now, yesterday we had some terrible weather, very strong winds. The trees were blowing all over the place, and as you can see, it is still a little bit windy outside now. So I thought it would be a good idea not to go outside to do my live stream. So I'm in the studio today and we are all safe indoors. So I'm not doing my live stream outside after everything that happened on Friday. I did try to do it on Friday. Did you see Friday's live stream? Oh my goodness, I really thought as if I was taking my life into my own hands. And to be honest with you, I know I love doing YouTube, I really do. I like being here with you. However, I don't think it is worth risking my life doing it. Do you see what I mean? So I thought today, inside, indoors, in the house, that is what I'm doing today. So that's what we are doing right now. It is lots of English, lots of conversation, of course. It is Sunday and Mr. Steve will be here. Let's have a look if I can find Mr. Steve's camera. For some reason, I don't know why, I can't find Steve's camera today. It's very strange. Oh, wait there a minute. There it is. Oh, yes, look at that. What an exciting view. I'm getting really excited by that view. Look at the view. It is one of the radiators and also a blank wall. One of the things we are talking about today is how do you place yourself when you are talking on a web camera? Now, I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that over the past few weeks, many people have been appearing on their web cameras. Scientists, entertainers, famous actors, they've all been doing it, including me. However, I was here first. So before Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks and Tom Hardy and all the other Toms got involved with doing their webcam live streams, I was doing it before them. So I hope you remember that. But what is the correct way to do it? What is the correct way to show yourself on a web camera? Now, I like to think that this way of doing it is quite nice. However, you will be amazed how many people get it wrong. People who might actually have a lot of experience in the film industry or television industry. However, they still get it wrong. How is that possible? I really don't know. So we are talking about appearing on web cameras. Have you ever appeared on a web camera? Now, this is something I've never done before. I've never done it, and I'm not going to do it today. However, in the future, I would love to be able to have a conference call on my live stream. So maybe 2 or 3 people joining in on the live stream. That sounds like a very good idea. However, there is quite a big negative side to doing that. First of all, you have to make sure that other people have a good connection at the other end. So if you are going to have other people appear on your live stream with their video cameras, you have to make sure that your speed, the speed of your internet is fast, and also the technology that you are using is good quality. So that is one of the reasons why I've never really done it before. However, I would love one day to be able to have maybe Skype calls. So what about you? Do you use a web camera? Are you using it more at the moment because of, well, you know what I'm talking about. I think we all know now. Have you been using a web camera or maybe your mobile device to talk to your friends? One of the best forms of communication. Now, I'm not being sponsored by this company, but I think FaceTime on the iPhone and iPad is a brilliant little device. It is a wonderful application, can I say. Mr. Steve often uses FaceTime to talk to his mother. So during this strange period of time, many people are now getting in touch with their friends, their close relatives, using technology such as the iPhone or iPad. Some people are using Skype. Some are using Zoom. Of course, there are many ways of doing it. Hello to the live chat. I should say hello to everyone right now. I wonder who was first on today's live chat. Shall we have a look? Oh my goodness. It's so busy already on the live stream. I can't believe it. Hello to Jimmy from Hong Kong. Guess what? Congratulations, Jimmy. You are first on today's live chat. Congratulations to you. Oh, yes, of course. I can now go, congratulations to you. My echo is back because I'm in the studio. Hello also, Partridge, Mosen, Vitas, also Annie, Richard. Hello, Richard. Nice to see you here today. Beatrice, also Emaine, Sujin, Grace, Lolly Lolly, Mog Mog. Also Beatrice, Valentina, Francesca, If Mohammed. Also Rob, Luis Mendez. Luis Mendez is here today. Hello also Adnan. Hello also to Lolly Lolly. Hello also to, we have Mr. Bruno. Hello, Mr. Bruno.
Hello, Mr. Bruno.
I haven't seen you for a long time here on the live chat. Nice to see you back as well. I know sometimes I say this quite often. I know in your lives you have lots of other things to do, especially at the weekend, perhaps. So I do understand if you can't always make it to my live streams. However, you can always watch these again later on. You can always watch them again later. Isn't that amazing? And for those who want to have captions, don't forget you can also have live captions as well right now. All you have to do is press C on your keyboard. Press C on your keyboard and you will have live captions. It's amazing. And for those who are watching on mobile devices, you can get your captions by going up there, of course, on your phone or your mobile device. You can go up there into the functions, the function settings, and you can select captions on. So activate your captions and you will have them as if by magic. So you can watch my live stream with live captions. For those who often ask, Mr. Duncan, how can we see you with your captions? Now you know. Press C on your keyboard, or you can find all of the functions up there on your phone or mobile device. So what about you? Are you using some form of communication to get in touch with your friends and family during this very long lockdown? I was going to say a rude word then, but I decided not to. But a lot of people at the moment are getting very restless, very antsy. I love that word, antsy. Maybe a person who is becoming restless. They can't keep still. They want to keep doing things. They want to go out and enjoy themselves. They want to see their family and friends. However, they can't. So people are getting very restless during this time. Here in the UK, we are into our 9th week. And we are still being told not to move around too much. However, some people have been ignoring their own advice. Have you seen that in the news from the UK? A very high up figure in the British government was caught. I love this story so much. He was caught, I think it was around 270 miles away from where he should have been, and he was dancing in the garden to ABBA. I'm not sure what's more embarrassing, to be honest. Being caught going against the lockdown rules or dancing in your garden to ABBA. So I'm not sure which one is more embarrassing, to be honest. Hello to Connell. Nice to see you here. Also, we have Cap Devi. Hello, Cap Devi. Can I say thank you once again for your lovely donation last week on the live chat? Very kind of you. Hello, Anna. Also, we have... yes,
Pedro Belmont is here today.
Yes. Also, we have Zuzika. It is a Sunday. It is a fun day. It is time to improve your English. You can listen. You can get involved on the live chat. Also, coming up later on. Oh, I'm so excited by this. I really must get a theme tune for the sentence game. I really must, because I haven't got one. So I really feel as if I have to get myself a piece of music that I can use when I introduce the sentence game. Yes, we will be playing
The sentence game, the sentence game, the sentence game. Enjoy yourself and
fill in the blanks. Later on, we are playing the sentence game. We are, definitely. So that's what we are doing today for those who are wondering what is coming up. Talking of up, we will also be looking at uses and the ways of expressing the words up and down. The ways we can use them in sentences. So that is another thing we are doing today as well. Besides having a chit-chat, we are going to have a chit-chat with Mr. Steve as well. Are you ready to see Mr. Steve? He will be here a little bit later on. Oh dear. You have to love Mr. Steve, really, don't you? He's what a guy. That is disgusting, by the way. Disgusting. Hello to Robin in Germany. Also we have Mohi. Also Noemi. Also Francesca. Anna Rita. Hello, Anna Rita. Is it my imagination or is it a very long time since I saw you here? Or is it just me? Is it my brain starting to dissolve in my head? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Mika is here as well. Hello, Mika. Nice to see you back here as well. Lots of things going on in the world. Have you heard the latest from the UK? One of the most senior people in the British government was caught disobeying the lockdown rules. A lot of controversy at the moment. Yes. Hello also to, we have Eleanor. Hello, Eleanor. Nice to see you here as well. Nice to see so many people. Hello, Noor Prod. Hello, Mr. Duncan from Nordibek. I hope I pronounced that correctly, in Uzbekistan. Nice to see you here as well. So lots of things to talk about. We are talking about uses of up and down. We have Mr. Steve, who will be talking about, well, many things, to be honest. We'll be talking about the way in which you use your web camera. I always try my best to make my camera look as good as possible. However, sometimes there are things that people do and they do them very badly. And one of those things is appearing on a web camera. There are many things you have to consider before you go live on your web camera. Hello to Andy. Mr. Duncan, have you got the historical books in your library? There are many books in my library. I have all sorts of books. I have books for fun, books for relaxation, and also books to feed my brain as well. Definitely. Hello, Valor. Mr. Duncan, do you love gossiping? Gossiping. Thank you, Valor. That is a very interesting question. Do I like gossiping? Well, sometimes I do. I think we all do it. In the area where I live, I know that the neighbours around here, they love gossiping. They often talk about each other. And one of the great things about living in a small neighbourhood is everyone knows each other. So it's very hard to keep anything secret around here. So around here, everyone knows that I do this, you see, because they all tell each other. Who knows? Perhaps at the moment, one of my neighbours is watching right now. In which case, hello, neighbours. Hi. Yes, it's that weird guy from the house on the hill. Yes, this is what I do on Sunday afternoon. What are you doing at the moment? Are you doing something nice? I hope so. Hello also, Miss Angelica, watching in Spain. Hello, Spain. Nice to see you as well. Also, Ogie. Ogie Rustiana asks, Mr. Duncan, have you ever been to Indonesia? I've never been there, to be honest. Never been to Indonesia. I've been very nearby. I've been to Malaysia and Singapore, but I've never been to Indonesia. Hello also to Jamelia. Hello, Jamelia. Again, it feels, to me, it feels as if I haven't seen you for a long time. Maria, Maria, I'm saying hello to Maria. I am now. Hello, Maria. Nice to see you back again. Hello, Artsby. It is like the United Nations together with Mr. Duncan. Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. Oh, am I really that important? I don't think so, to be honest. I really don't think so. Hello. Oh, Belarusia is here. Hello, Belarusia. Nice to see you back as well. Also, Kaula, watching in Morocco. Hello, Kaula Dool. Thank you also to Irene. Lena is here. Oh my goodness, what a busy one this is turning out to be. I tell you something, it's going to get very busy soon because Mr. Steve is going to be here. We have the sentence game as well. Here's an interesting word, and this is something that popped in my head this morning whilst I was lying in bed. The word rattle. Have you ever seen this word before? It is an interesting word because it has more than one use, more than one definition. The word rattle. Rattle. Well, quite often when you hear a sound, a certain type of sound, maybe there is an empty container with something inside, and it will make a rattle. So rattle can be the sound that something makes. Maybe an empty container, a container that has nothing in it except one thing, and it rattles. Also, the word rattle can mean to do something very quickly. You rattle through something. You do something very fast. You rattle through your homework. You rattle through your gardening. You do it very quickly. To do something at a very fast pace is rattle. Rattle. To do something very quickly. You rattle through it. I love this word. Another use of this word, and this goes back to the question I had a few moments ago about gossip. Rattle can also mean to talk, to endlessly talk. Maybe you talk for a very long time. Maybe two people get together and they talk to each other. They have a rattle. Rattle. So this word can be used in more than one way. It can be a sound. It can also be to do the action of doing something quickly. And also it can be the action of talking. Maybe for a very long time you are rattling. You are talking. Maybe my neighbours at the moment are standing in their gardens and they are rattling to each other about what that strange man is doing at the top of the hill on the internet. Rattle. I love that word. It is interesting sometimes how some words have more than one use, and quite often their uses can be very different from each other as well. I think so. Partridge, can you give me some tips to learn fast and perfectly? Well, this is a question I'm asked all the time. Learning anything takes time. You can never rush learning. It is probably one of my biggest rules when it comes to learning English. In fact, learning anything takes time and patience. So you can't rush learning. Trust me. A lot of people believe you can. There are people on YouTube who say they can teach you English in 3 months. They can't. They really can't. Learning English, learning a language takes time. You need time, you need effort, and also you need to make sure that you don't lose interest. So you can learn English in many different ways. Keep doing it. Make it part of your life. Do it every day. So I always say you can't rush learning. Learning is something you have to do over time. I know there are people who say they have the magic solution. They have the magic solution to learning in just a few days. Wow! But it's rubbish. You can't. You really, really can't. Trust me. Hello, fly away. Mr. Duncan, I know the rattlesnake. So yes, the rattlesnake. The sound of a rattlesnake is rattle. So that's the reason why they call it a rattlesnake, because the noise it makes a rattle. Rattle. Hello, Stanislav. Hello. Yes, you can rattle through something to do it quickly. You can rattle through it. It means you are doing it at a very fast pace. However, you cannot rattle through learning English. You can't. You have to take your time. You have to do it at a certain speed, a certain pace. We are going to have a look at one of my full English lessons. We are talking about uses of the word up and down. Oh, also in a few moments we are going to have a look at Mr. Steve's grass. So how has Mr. Steve's grass been growing over the past 7 days? We are going to have a look at that in a few moments. But first, here is an excerpt from one of my full English lessons. This is taken from Full English number 33. And then after that, He's Back by popular demand from his mother. It's Mr. Steve coming up in a few moments' time. Don't go away. What's it all about? As I lie here in solitude on this giant rock hurtling through space on such a beautiful day, as I look up at that glowing ball of gas that keeps us all alive and well on this little blue pebble, I can't help but wonder, what's it all about? Why are we here? These existential thoughts rattle in my head again and again, keeping me from my nocturnal slumber as one by one my brain cells glow white hot with the wonders that I behold. Anyway, enough of that. Hi everybody and welcome to another full English video lesson. Here we are at lesson number 33, which also happens to be my imaginary age. Yes, for today only I am 33. Anyway, I can't lie here all day wittering about nothing, as we have a very busy full English lesson to get on with, which will start around about now. I love talking about British traditions and customs, so today I would like to tell you about one that has been very popular for many years. Over time we often buy things that seem useful at the time, but eventually they become unused and unwanted. However, there is a way of selling your old items in person, and sometimes you might make a little bit of money as well. You can sell your second-hand items to someone who needs them. If something is second-hand, it means that it has been used. It is pre-owned. It is not new. You can sell your unwanted items at a car boot sale. This is a place where people turn up and sell items from the boots of their cars. There are many car boot sales that take place here in the UK. They often happen at the weekend. Then there is a jumble sale. Things that are unwanted or second-hand are sold at a jumble sale. A jumble sale is often held to raise money for charity. The word jumble means old and unwanted, as well as mixed up and messy. Old unwanted items can be described as knickknacks, odds and ends, bric-a-brac, jumble, and even junk. There are shops that specialise in second-hand items. You might buy a second-hand car. A car that has been pre-owned and not new is second-hand. It's now time for another buzzword. A buzzword is a word or phrase that is used during a certain period of time, or is generally popular. Today's buzzword is shaming. This particular word is not new, but it is often used in phrases that have become prominent. The word shame means to feel upset or distraught over some negative aspect of your life, or because of the way you feel about yourself. You feel self-conscious about something. We often use shaming with the state of being a certain way. One group of people might accuse another of shaming them by the things they say or do. Overweight people might feel fat-shamed because of their size. They are made to feel uncomfortable about being fat. So fat shaming is the action of ridiculing or placing guilt on the overweight. Another one is poverty shaming, which is the action of ridiculing or using a person's poverty for entertainment or exploitation. A poor person might be berated or shamed for being poor. This form of shaming is seen by some as embarrassing and exploitative. The suffix shaming can be added to any state that is held up as a way not to live. Poverty shaming, fat shaming, body shaming, parental shaming, or internet shaming are all seen as types of social humiliation by those affected by the negative attention they bring. Here are two English words that both have positive meanings and can shape a person's life forever. The words are inspire and aspire. Firstly, the word inspire means to fill someone with the urge or ability to do something. Quite often the thing in question is creative. Something you see or hear inspires you to do something yourself. You feel inspired by the thing you saw. You feel the urge to do something similar, or to go off on your own course and create something unique and individual. The action of another person might inspire you to do the same thing. You feel emboldened. Ooh, I like that word. To embolden is to give confidence and encouragement through action. You might describe inspiration as a type of enlightenment. You feel inspired, which encourages you to take action. I attended a business seminar last weekend, and now I feel inspired to start my own company. That beautiful sunset has inspired me to start painting again. Then there is the word aspire, which describes the feeling of bettering yourself. You see a place where you would like to be in the future, with a better job, a better house, or perhaps a more comfortable lifestyle. These are the things a person might aspire to. You might say that the urge which comes from feeling aspiration is what pushes us forward to better ourselves. You aspire towards a goal or an objective. Ambition and hope can be the driving forces that help you realize your dreams for the future. You can be inspired to aspire. I saw a lovely village on TV last night, which is the place I'd like to live one day. To dream and aspire is what we all do. Sometimes those hopes and dreams are big and appear out of reach. But if you can imagine something, then there is no reason why it can't be achieved. It all depends on you. To inspire is to give someone a spark of creativity. To aspire is to think positive, dream big, and most importantly of all, never give up. I hope you enjoyed that. One of my many English lessons that you can find on my YouTube channel. I hope you are feeling happy today. Thank you for joining me. Yes, this is English Addict live from the birthplace of the English language, which of course is England. As if you did not know. I'm sure you do. I'm pretty sure you are aware of that. We are now coming up to, 2:45. Very precise. Look at that. Almost exactly on time. Precisely. Really, really accurate today. I can't believe it. Here he is. Here he comes. Everyone's favourite man. Oh, dearie me. Everyone's favourite guy. Everyone's superstar. It is, of course, Mr. Steve. We are giving you some...
Mr. Duncan, I forgot about the clapping.
Yes, you always forget the clap.
Yeah, well, I can't hear it, you see, because the sound isn't turned up very much. Anyway, how are you, Mr. Duncan?
How are you, Mr. Steve?
And more importantly, how are you? All you out there in the world wide web of English. My own special welcome. And how are you then, Mr. Duncan? You haven't answered me yet.
I'm okay. I can't complain.
Good,
the only thing I forgot to do, Steve, was put your microphone up at the start, but it's
oh,
okay.
right. Well, should I start again then? Hello, everybody. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Hello to everybody in the world wide web of English.
Okay. When we did the mic level earlier, you weren't doing that, you see.
Always with the mic levels. Every week it's the same thing, Mr. Duncan.
Yes.
I'll whisper like a little mouse.
Strangely enough, your whisper is as loud as you shouting. It's very strange that. I don't know how that's possible.
Oh, it doesn't matter, does it, Mr. Duncan?
It does, actually. Anyway, we are here together again. There I am, and there is Mr. Steve. So, are you feeling comfortable?
Yes, very comfortable. Thank you very much. Yes.
I don't know why you're shouting.
I'm just talking normally.
That's better, yes. Now you're talking normally. So, what a week it's been. We've had a lot of things going on here in the UK. Of course, around the world, Steve, things are slowly getting back to normal. Now, when we say normal, we don't really mean normal. We mean normal with quotations. So we are saying normal, because it isn't really the exact definition of normality. However, people are now trying to get back to some sort of normality. Would you say?
The new normal, as
Yes.
people keep calling it, the new normal.
Oh, I like that.
So in other words, just social distancing forever.
Yes,
Or until we've got a vaccine.
that's it.
But yes, exactly, Mr. Duncan. Well, I mean, to us, it hasn't been that much different, really, because, I mean, for you, for example, have social distance for the last 10 years at least.
Yes, that's nice. Why do you say that every week?
Because you give me the opportunity every week, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, but you shouldn't.
Of commenting on your isolation from humanity.
Yes.
But of course, it's all in the devotion of English teaching.
It's all in the devotion, is it?
Yes, you're like a monk in a remote part of the world and dedicating themselves to a cause. And your cause is teaching English. And of course, in order to be brilliant at it, which you are, you have to be remote and isolated from the outside world, just like a monk would be.
You know, you've got yogurt all over your face.
Yogurt.
No, not really.
I have been eating yogurt. Well, Mr. Duncan, you surprised me because I was eating strawberries and yogurt,
Okay.
and you suddenly said 2 minutes, and there I was scoffing into strawberries and yogurt.
You were eating your yogurt.
Yes.
Anyway, you finished your yogurt.
A bit hot in here.
It's a very interesting colour combination, by the way, today.
Oh, what this? Oh, I just threw this scarf on. No particular reason.
No.
I'm not covering anything up. or
No,
anything.
okay. I'm sure that's true. Talking of which, though, because you've been doing the same thing as many people over the past few weeks, you've been using the internet, you've been using your web camera for getting in touch with your work colleagues and also your mum as well. I mentioned this earlier.
Well, yes, because I'm working from home, as are a lot of people, and we've been told, although we've sort of relaxed some of the lockdown situations in the UK, our work has still told us we must stay at home and work from home.
Yes.
Which is good. I'm fine with that. And of course, the only way to stay in contact with colleagues, I mean, you can use the phone, but they've utilised this new technology called Zoom. There are lots of other versions, but that one seems to have become very popular around the world. And we've certainly been using it. So every day it's Zoom meetings. And what I find fascinating is that people go onto these meetings and, well, let's just say the webcam is not very flattering.
Yes. Well, what I've noticed, certainly over the last few weeks, as more and more people have started using their web cameras, there are certain things that you should and should not do. There is a certain type of, I suppose we use the word etiquette.
Etiquette.
Etiquette when you are using a web camera. For example, you have to make sure the camera is in the right position. So a lot of people make the mistake, don't they, Steve, of having the camera too low down and then it looks up at them. Can I just say that is the worst thing you can do? The absolute worst thing you can do is have your camera low down, looking up. And there are two reasons for that. First of all, the shadows look terrible on your face. Also, because many web cameras, Steve, have a very wide lens, which means it can fit lots of things onto the image. Now, because of that, if you get close to it, your face will start to distort. So, of course, if you have the camera low down, your lower face, your mouth, your chin, and your neck will look large because it's being distorted by the lens.
You mean out of proportion?
Yes, well, it's distortion. It's a natural distortion caused by the wide lens that many web cameras have.
And of course, it makes your nose bigger as well.
It makes everything bigger.
Everything?
Well, almost everything.
Yes, and I've noticed at work that a lot of people have their cameras set so that you can't see their neck.
Yes.
I mean, that's why I've got this on today. I was hoping you'd point it out, Mr. Duncan, and make fun of me, but you haven't.
No. But what I was going to say, Steve, is having the camera low down is not a good thing. But, however, you can rectify that. You can put it right. You can correct that problem by having the camera high up. So what you do is you have the camera at a high angle looking down. And so your face will be more in proportion. In fact, it can be quite flattering.
Flattering.
Very flattering. So if you have your web camera higher than you, looking downwards slightly, a slight angle, you will actually look much better than if you have the camera low down looking up. In fact, this happens in movies. You will often see in movies, quite often, the camera is often at a higher angle when it is filming a person, especially close up, because it's more flattering. The worst angle is low down. The best is high up. So that's just one of my little tips, you see, for the right way to appear on your web camera.
Well, the other thing about etiquette on if you're using webcams, Zoom, or there are other things, aren't there? The Skype.
Yes, and you use FaceTime with your mother.
FaceTime, all those sorts of things.
That reminds Steve, your mother. Your mother always has the webcam or very low down, looking right up at her face, and
I know
it's not very flattering.
She doesn't like to look at herself because, of course, you can see yourself, can't you, in the top corner of the screen that you're on. You can always see a version of yourself.
Yes.
And she hates looking at it, but of course she won't hold it up. She holds it down like that.
Maybe we could send something to her, some sort of apparatus that she can fix her iPad to, and then she can have the angle coming down instead of up.
I think her arm would ache. And the reason I've put this scarf on today is because something that a friend of mine mentioned in an email to me recently was that they were on Zoom with their work colleagues, and of course you can see yourself. So the first thing they noticed was that their neck looked a bit scraggy. It looked old because they're probably in their mid-50s, and they were very, very self-conscious that their neck looked old. So they've gone into the habit now of going onto any work Zoom meeting wearing a scarf or a very high collar. And that's why I put this on, not because I've got a scraggy neck. As I shall reveal to you, my neck is perfect, and I'm taking it off because I'm boiling hot, Mr. Duncan.
Wow. Oh. So let's just have a look then. Now you've drawn attention to your neck. Yes, it looks quite nice.
Youthful.
Of course. Can I also say congratulations to whoever set that camera up?
Do I look flattering, Mr. Duncan?
Well, that's exactly what I've done. If you notice, Steve, the camera is high up. So the angle of the camera is high up. It's actually above you slightly.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan.
And because the camera that you're using, well, actually, that's one of my professional cameras you've got there. Ooh. So that's actually it's very flattering, let's just say, very flattering to Mr. Steve's face.
Well, in our local sort of team, there's 8 of us in our little team.
Yeah.
And we have sort of twice weekly Zoom meetings for about an hour. And there's one lady on there, and she has her camera set so that you can only see her from the chin upwards.
Oh, I see.
So she's like that. She's like that on her camera all the time. So she just talks to you like that, and she won't go. She won't move up, and I know it's because she's self-conscious about her appearance. But we're not. We're young. We're youthful, in the prime of our lives, and we don't have to worry about it. But I mean, this is the thing. The other thing, Mr. Duncan, is that you want to have a light, don't you, coming straight at you?
Yes, this was the other thing I was going to mention as well. One of the things that people get wrong when they are appearing on a camera, a web camera, is quite often they will have either too much light in the wrong place. And when I say that, I mean they have a lot of light behind them. It is the worst thing you can do. So you always have to make sure the light behind you and in front of you is even. You have to have even light.
Yes.
Because your web camera will either make you look like a ghost, or it will make you look like you are just a giant shadow.
And you don't want light coming in from the side, because that shows up all your wrinkles on your neck.
If you do have light coming from the side, it must come from both sides.
Yes.
So if you do it from both sides, it's very flattering. So as you can see in my studio, the lighting is diffused. It is on either side of my face. And the same with Steve. So Steve is using natural light on one side, and on the other side I'm using an artificial lamp to make sure that the light is even on Steve's face. So this is another thing that a lot of people do when they try to connect their web camera. They don't really set it up in the right way. And quite often they can make themselves look much worse than they really are. It's a bit like looking in the mirror. Do you ever look in the mirror, Steve? First
All
thing in the
the time, Mr. Duncan, all the time.
If I could just get to the end of the sentence. Do you ever look in the mirror in the morning and you look at yourself and you think, that can't be right. That's not me. Why is the mirror lying to me?
I look in the mirror, Mr. Duncan, and I say, oh, look at that handsome face. Look at that beautiful person. Look at his lovely hair, his beautiful skin. I'm only joking, of course I don't. What a dish! No, I'm joking, I don't, because we all hate looking at ourselves in the mirror, don't we?
Well, some of us do. Obviously you don't.
I'm joking, I'm just joking. But yes, some people do feel very self-conscious on the... And of course, the other thing you've got to be careful about, Mr. Duncan, talking about etiquette, Zoom etiquette, or what's the generic name for is it webcam etiquette, could we call it?
Yes, I think so. Yes, if you are on a webcam,
you don't want to keep using one brand name.
No, well, you can say webcam. Some people, well, it's a bit like the way in which certain brand names can become used in everyday life, like, for example, Hoover. So when you are doing your vacuum cleaning, you use your Hoover. However, Hoover is a brand name. So over the years, you find this happens quite a lot, where a brand name becomes something that you use in everyday life, even as a verb. So you might Hoover your carpet. So the word Hoover is actually a brand name. However, it has become used as a verb, an everyday verb. So Zoom, I suppose Zoom is a good example. Are we going to Zoom later? So the word Zoom is a brand of software that allows people to connect visually and with sound. However, you can also use it now as a verb. It's almost become a verb. FaceTime is another one. Do you want to FaceTime later?
No.
Oh, okay. That was rhetorical.
Exactly. Yes, the other thing is you've got to be careful, particularly if it's work colleagues, that you're dressed appropriately, that sort of thing. There have been instances, I think, on the you've seen it on social media where people are dressed for a work meeting, but because they think they can't be seen below the neck,
yes.
then they haven't got very much on underneath.
Yes.
You're not supposed to eat. It looks rude to eat when you're on a work Zoom meeting.
Well, when you say underneath, you mean below waist level.
Below waist level, yes. There was it was doing the rounds on the internet, on social media. Somebody that was in a work meeting, and they left their camera on, and they stood up after the meeting. They were quite smart. They got a nice shirt on,
like this.
But then they got nothing on. Or just underwear.
Yes, I think they were just in their underpants, weren't they?
So that was quite embarrassing.
Well,
but yes.
Who knows? Who knows what I'm doing? Maybe below the camera, maybe down there. I'm not wearing my smart clothes. I might be wearing ladies' underwear, for all you know. I'm not.
I hope not, Mr. Duncan. I'd get very worried if you were.
I'm definitely not. I've just checked. I do have clothes on below the waist. Even though they are my pyjama bottoms. I'm wearing my pyjama trousers. So I can confess, I don't mind confessing, I am wearing my pyjama trousers. The trousers that I actually sleep in, I'm wearing beneath or below my waist. So this is the part that you can see. It looks all presentable and lovely, but down there, it looks as if I'm ready for bed.
He's wearing pyjamas. It's true, viewers. It is true. So what have you been talking about today, Mr. Duncan?
So far, we've talked about the use of, what was the word I looked at? Yes, rattle, to do something quickly, a sound that is made by one object in an empty container, and of course to talk a lot, to talk, rattle. So I thought that was an interesting use of one simple word.
Had you been talking about the word etiquette before I came on?
No, that was the first time. So the etiquette, when we talk about etiquette, we are actually talking about the way you do something, or maybe the recognised way of doing something. So a way that you do something, maybe when you are in a social gathering, there are certain things that you do and certain things that you don't do. There are certain rules, social rules. And the same thing applies when you are on your web camera. And that is true. The other thing that I've noticed, Steve, is of course the background of people's web cameras.
Yes.
A lot of people, and this is why I have my bookcase behind me, a lot of people think it's better if you sit. I will show you this. Oh, that's outside. Where am I? I can't actually find my... Where am I? That's strange. I've lost myself.
Get your act together, Mr. Duncan.
I can't find my camera. Where's my camera gone? Someone's stolen my camera.
It's me, because I want to be on show all the time.
Oh, there we go. I found myself now. Yes, I can't even remember what I was saying. Go on, Steve.
We were talking about etiquette, weren't we?
Yes, etiquette. And people, when they appear on web cameras, they often have the bookcase behind them to make them look very intelligent and clever.
Learned.
So this behind me is why I do this, you see. So I've got this behind me because that's the thing, you see. When you see people, maybe scientists or politicians, they're giving advice on their webcam, or maybe they're having an interview, Steve, on the TV, they will often be standing in front or sitting in front of a bookcase to make themselves look better. So what do you think about that?
Either that, or if they've written a book, they'll have their own book in prominent view.
Yes.
So that you can see the... which I suppose is fair enough.
Yes.
If they've written an interesting book that they might want us to read. Yes, you've got to be... In fact, when we go on work Zoom meetings, before it starts, there is a list of things, the etiquette. So it's like acceptable behaviour, isn't it? What you're supposed to do, which is acceptable. It's like table etiquette.
Yes.
How do you eat a meal in company that is acceptable, won't upset anybody? You know, you're not sort of eating with your hands or talking with your mouth full. Things like that, using your cutlery in the right order. And just when you're on a webcam at work, doesn't matter if you're with friends or family, but if it's a work meeting,
yes,
then there are certain behaviours that you've got to display in order to not draw attention to yourself and show respect for whoever is talking at that particular point.
Yes, I think the general rule is be decent. And if you are doing something during work time, you must always look presentable. Maybe you have a shirt and tie like this, you see. I look so nice today and professional. So that's what you normally do. You have to decide on what the situation is, and then you dress according, or you dress appropriately for that situation.
Mika's off to bed. Good night.
Good night, Mika.
Sleep tight. Hope the bed bugs don't bite.
That's nice.
Sergio doesn't like to look in the mirror in the morning. I don't need such stress when the day begins. Yes, true. Something I've noticed actually is that with work colleagues, particularly the men, their standards of presentation have dropped over the last few weeks. I mean, they're not bothering to shave, wash their hair. They're almost looking like vagrants.
Oh, I see.
And comments have been made. And some people will come on and they won't put their camera on. And they'll pretend that there's something wrong with the camera. I can't work out how to switch it on, that sort of thing. Yes. So
they're finding a reason not to turn the camera on. Maybe they are not looking good, or maybe they just haven't bothered getting dressed. Maybe they're sitting there in front of the web camera naked. Maybe.
Maria says hello from north of Spain, which is very windy. So I think, yes, the wind that we had, which has died down a bit, it's less than it was yesterday.
Yes, it's much nicer outside now.
It's now streaming across the rest of Europe. So, yes, very unusual to have wind at this time of the year.
Yes, it's looking... Yes, let's have a look. There it is. There is the view now. It is still a bit breezy, so that is the view outside. Something else I want to look at quickly, Steve. Of course, Steve, at the moment, is nurturing, he is looking after his new lawn, his new grass.
Oh!
So it's time now to take a look. Take a look at the monitor, Steve. You will see it. We are now going to have a look at Mr. Steve's grass, and maybe you can take us through what you've been doing this week with the grass.
It's not going to bore people, is it, Mr. Duncan?
No, I want to see it. I'm excited.
Don't want people to be bored.
No, I'm sure everyone wants to see your new grass.
Not sure about that.
I would imagine many people have actually tuned in, not to see us. They want to have a look at your lovely new grass. So here it is. Here is Mr. Steve's new grass. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's check in with Steve's new grass. How is it growing? Oh, yes, it's looking nice from there. Oh, yes, look at that. Wow. Steve, it's looking all right.
Well, I'm going to have to give it a cut soon. When it's around 8 centimetres tall, I will give it its first cut. That's what it says in the books.
There it is. Mr. Steve, look.
Top marks for me, 9 out of 10, I would say.
Wow.
There's a few little patches.
Yes. But that's normal. But I have to say, I am quite impressed with your new grass. That looks amazing. So let's get a bit closer, shall we? Let's move in. Let's get down.
Look, there's a few weeds in there already.
Let's get down and dirty. There it is. Oh, yes, we're getting close now. So you can see there are some patches. However, as the grass grows, Steve will be able to identify the areas, and then you can fill in those areas, can't you?
I can. Well, it might fill in on its own. I'm hoping it will anyway.
Because, of course, grass does seed itself. So as the grass seeds, there will be new blades of grass coming up. So I think that's honestly, Steve, that's amazing. That is Mr. Steve's grass. Mr. Steve made that grass happen.
Blade by blade.
There is a great expression that goes, something that is boring is like watching grass grow. Well, here we are, literally. We are literally watching grass grow at the moment. So there it is, Mr. Steve's wonderful new grass. And it is, well, it's looking amazing, Steve. So can I just say congratulations, Steve, for your grass? Oh, yes.
Yay. It wasn't that difficult, Mr. Duncan. A few people are commenting on your bookshelf.
Okay.
And Artsby30 says, can you take a book out of your bookshelf, Mr. Duncan, and show us?
Yes, okay then. I will do that. I need to just turn around. I can't do this easily, so I need to just turn around. Okay, I'm turning around now.
Yes. Oh, yes, you've disappeared there, Mr. Duncan. Are you picking out a particular book that you like?
Yes, I'm trying to find a book that I can show you. Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm in my library here. I'm going to take a book from my bookcase. Excuse me.
Well, hurry up about it, Mr. Duncan. You don't have to take such a long time. Will you need ladders?
No.
Oh, I see.
That's
good.
There we go. So here is one of the books.
Ah, well, very predictable that you would have that on your bookshelf, Mr. Duncan.
Well, yes, a lot of my books are connected to the English language, so there is one of them. So now you can see one of the books, one of the many books behind me. And this is my thesaurus. And no, it isn't a type of dinosaur, Steve. A thesaurus. It is a great source of information about the English language. And you can find out not just what words mean, but you can also find out alternative words as well. So a thesaurus is very good for looking for synonyms or other ways of expressing a certain word. So
That's very big book, Mr. Duncan. You could call it a Tyrannosaurus Rex. A Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yes, okay.
To be more a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yes.
A very big book.
That's it. It is a big one, actually. There are a lot of pages in this. This is one of my favourite books. And I will put it back now in my bookcase. I have to put it back, Steve. So if you can just be entertaining for a moment.
Go on, Mr. Duncan. Be careful. Don't fall off the step ladders, will you?
I'll try
We don't
not
want
to.
you to have an injury. What about one of the books immediately behind you? There's an orange one there that looks quite interesting. Oh, well, I don't think we've got time, though, have we, today?
No, unfortunately. I was going to pick another book, but we haven't got time, I'm afraid.
We've got to move on.
We've got to move on. So there, now you know that it is a real bookshelf behind me. It's real.
I know. Fancy people doubting.
I can't believe that.
Doubting that was a real bookcase.
People think that I'm standing in front of a green screen. I can't believe it.
The cheek of it, Mr. Duncan. Don't they know you're a professional?
It's so cheeky, so naughty. We are going to play our little game that's become very popular over recent times. Would you like to play along, Steve? I'm wondering if you want to play along. Maybe you don't want to.
Well, I'm here, so I may as well.
Okay, then. So we are going to play the sentence game. And this is something that has become quite popular over recent weeks for various reasons. One particular reason is because many people have nothing else to do during this strange lockdown period. So there it is, the sentence game. Keep an eye on your monitor. Mr. Steve, that is a message for you. Keep an eye on your monitor. So what we are going to do, we're going to look at some sentences. However, you will notice that there are some spaces in the sentence. And those spaces are where I want you to put a certain word. So each space has one word that you have to add to the sentence. So how are you feeling, Steve? Are you feeling lucky?
I should be all right, shouldn't I, Mr. Duncan?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm hoping that your viewers will fill in the blanks better than I will.
Okay, we will see. Everyone's saying, come on, Mr. Duncan, get on with it.
Yes, get on with it.
Well, here's the one. First of all, here's an unusual one, Steve.
We all know the rules.
This is the one that appeared on my Facebook page. So it's a very long one. So can anyone... Are you okay?
I was just... they're getting more and more elaborate every week.
Well, this is the one that was on my Facebook page advertising today's live stream. So you can see there are many blanks, many spaces there. It's something. Join something today for something English Addict. Something stream. From 2 p.m. UK time. Mr. Steve will be something us as well. We will also be something the something game. Yes, I know it's a long one. Not many people say that to me normally, but it is a long one. So that's the one that appeared on my Facebook page. I wonder if anyone is feeling brave enough to put some of those words in place. Sujin says Sunday. Oh, okay then. Yes, I suppose so. It's Sunday. Yes, you can say that it is Sunday. Yeah, okay then. I think that's okay. I will get my little pointer to show you. Yes, I will put myself on the screen fully. Please don't take it personally, Mr. Steve. So yes, it's Sunday. Sunday. It's Sunday. Join what? What do you think, Steve? Join what?
Us.
You could have us, of course.
Me.
Yes. I think in this particular sense, I want to use the word me. So it's Sunday. Join me today for what? What do you think I'm asking you to do? It's Sunday. Join me today for what? So last week we were here, weren't we, Steve?
This week's.
This week we are here again. So this is what?
Today.
No?
It's Sunday. Join me today for live.
Something that's happened before is happening again. So it is a what?
Another.
Ah, yes.
Another.
It's Sunday. Join me today for another. So once more. So when we say another, we are saying once more. We are doing it again. Join me today for another. So there it is. Mr. Steve is back now. Your face is now shining out from everyone's computer screens around the world. Valerina, join me today for an English Addict live stream from 2 p.m. UK time. Mr. Steve will be with us as well. Yes, I think so. So English Addict, and the word is live. The next word is live. And there
Freddie
you can
got that?
There. So it's Sunday. Join us today for another live or another English Addict live stream from 2 p.m. UK time. Mr. Steve will be what?
Oh, somebody's already got that.
Yes. You can say with. Mr. Steve will be with us. Also, there is another one as well. Another word you can use.
Joining.
Yes. Mr. Steve will be joining us as well. So he will be coming onto the live stream at some point. He will be joining us as well. He will be joining us. Or, of course, simply put, you can say with. Mr. Steve will be with us.
Freddie's on the ball with this one.
Sorry?
Freddie's on the ball with this one. He's already got the last one.
Oh, okay then. Is Freddie ahead? Freddie is ahead of me.
And
there, we will also be what? We will also be what? What will we be doing? What will we be doing also? Well, what are we doing now? What are we doing now?
Well, Freddie says playing.
Playing. We will also be playing. Playing what? Playing the...
Sentence.
Oh, okay then, Steve. Don't get too carried away, Steve, answering these.
Well, the people have already answered it. They're way ahead of us, Mr. Duncan.
Okay.
I think we need to go a bit faster.
That's good. Okay, then. Well, I have to make sure that everyone has a chance, you see, because there is a 60-second delay. So we have 60 seconds
Ah,
of
right.
delay between us talking and then the answers coming on the screen.
A
So
lot
we
of
have-
people getting this right.
So I want to make sure that everyone has a chance, you see. I like to be fair with people, you see. That's what I'm doing at the moment. So that's it. That was the one that appeared on my Facebook page today. And that is how I wrote it. So maybe it looked a little bit confusing for some people, maybe. I don't know. Here's another one.
Lewis got that right as well.
Well done, Lewis. Artsby.
Beatrice got it right. Yes, a lot of people getting that right. Well done.
Thank you very much. A lot of people getting this right. Here's
Grace.
another one. We will move ahead to a shorter sentence now. So I don't want Steve to answer this. Don't answer this, Steve.
Noemi
We
got
will-
it right. Artsby got it right. Well
Good.
done. Vitas.
Here is another one. I something something time at the something last something. Ooh. Now I won't give the answer straight away because we have to be careful because of the delay, you see. There is a little bit of a delay on the internet. So we will have a little bit of time whilst you are looking at that. So maybe we can just have a little bit of music playing underneath. And if you think you know what that is, let us know. I will put it back on the screen again. Are you ready? I something a something time at the something last something.
Ooh.
It's been a
Fill
while.
in the blanks.
It's been a while, Steve, since either of us has said this. That is a clue.
Try and make it funny as well if you can.
Yes.
If you can make it funny, you get extra points.
Yes. If you make it funny or maybe rude. If you can make a funny sentence or maybe a rude sentence. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Jazuli is here. Hello to you, and thank you for saying hello to us. Yes, it's Mr. Steve and Mr. Duncan here, live on YouTube. Hello. Rosa, I join a good time at the city last week. I joined a good time. I think what you are saying there is actually I enjoyed a good time at the city last week. So yes, there you go. That is a sentence. I enjoyed.
Good one from Valeria. I had a good time at the party last night.
Ah, I had a good time at the party last night. So yes, that does fit in.
Sergio says, I something a something time at the something last something.
Oh, I see. Yes. I don't think that's quite the
You're
the
not playing the game there, Sergio.
It's not the answer I was looking for.
Although it did raise a smile.
Yes, it made Steve's face crease up with laughter. For once.
Corey says, I had a good time at the famous last sentence game.
Oh, I see. That's quite good. I had a good time at the. But there should be a word before last. You see.
Beatrice says, I spent a lovely time at the park last Sunday. Oh. And then you could add on, now that lockdown has been relaxed.
Yeah. That's a lot of words. Maybe you had a bad time. So maybe the thing you are talking about wasn't good. So what would you say, Steve, if you were talking about something negatively, You can also use these words as well to construct a negative sentence.
Yes, I had a horrible time at the meeting last week.
Ah, okay then. And that is something you have said quite often.
Yes. I had a bad time
Yes.
at the meeting last week.
Yeah.
I had a horrible time at the party last week.
Yeah.
But let's be positive.
Yes.
Let's be positive.
Well, I'm just showing the alternatives.
Yes.
Yes. Anything else?
Helen says, I had a good time at the sea last year. I had a good time at the seaside, we would say, last year. Yep, very good. I had a good time at the party last night. Anna Kobe, yes. That's
Yes.
a popular one.
I suppose another positive word you could use is wonderful. I had a wonderful time at the seaside last weekend because the weather was really hot. In fact, during this week, many people have been travelling around the country when they shouldn't. They've been visiting their friends and family and going to the beach, enjoying the hot weather because we had some lovely weather last week. And of course, one particular person is really in trouble at the moment. I won't get Steve started on this because we'll be here all day.
Yes.
But one person has definitely got in trouble for doing something wrong. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep into that
Yes.
because we are playing the sentence game,
Here's
you
a
see.
good one from Maria. I had a great time at the fair last weekend.
Yes, that's it.
Excellent.
So we can see the construction of this sentence. We are talking about something we did. And we know that. The reason why we know that is because we have last. So that word shows that we are talking about something from the past. So you can see the word last is being used to show something that is already happened, which will help you to create the sentence. So you know you are talking about something that has already happened. So it makes it much easier to start the sentence. So you can see how we can get the actual sentence. So last is the past. So we would start with something that also shows that we are talking about the past. I had. It's the past. Well, this space can be positive or negative. It can be either of those things. It can be good or bad, wonderful or terrible. Time at the, well, we are talking about a certain activity, a certain event, something we did, something we went to, something we attended. And then last, well, it can be anything. Last Tuesday, last weekend, last night. So yes, you can see how that sentence is actually put together. We are talking about something we did in the past, something we did before. So I think this particular game is very good for practicing your grammar and also having a look at how sentences are constructed.
Anna's got a good one. I spent a lovely time at the theatre last year.
Oh, I see.
So well done to everybody there. Yes, we only want to fit in one word, don't we, into each space.
Yes.
Some people have tried to put, which is funny. I mean, Andy Starr put a lot of words in there, made something funny about a crocodile and being eaten by a river.
Yes.
But yes.
Yes. Good. So we'll move on to the next one if we can. Yes, here we go. Here's the next one, Steve. I will try again. Can you something me something my mother later? Ooh, interesting.
Mr. Duncan.
Yes. So we have 3 words that you have to add. Can you something me something my mother later? So I will give you a little bit of time. I'm not going to rush you, so don't worry. We will not rush this. I will give you some time so you can put it on the screen.
That one's a bit more tricky, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, it is. It is a little bit more tricky. So what do you think? Ah, there is Steve. Steve is back now. I think a lot of people were missing your lovely smiling face.
I don't think so.
Hello, Stanislav. Hello, also Sergio. Give us a hope for the future. Stop talking about the past. Well, I think that's a good point. Yes, I suppose I should sometimes we all do it. We all dwell. We all talk about the past too much. However, don't forget, the past is a very important part of your life. It is what makes you the person you are. So it is something we do quite often. We do often look back over things we've done already. I think so. Any answers?
Yes, we've got one from Ali here. Can you help me to help my mother later? Yeah?
Can you help me to help my mother? Now, as I mentioned last week, we don't normally use the same word twice within a sentence. It is seen as breaking one of the basic rules of English if you are writing something down. So that we can actually use our thesaurus and come up with an alternative. So the answer is correct. However, what I would suggest is using a different word. So can you help me to... Now there is another word for help that you can use. Can you help me to assist my mother later? So instead of using help twice, you can actually use another word. So this is something I've talked about in the past. If we are writing a sentence, especially something formal, you must always make sure that you change one of the words if you repeat them within a sentence. So try to think of an alternative. So that's a good one. Can you help me to assist my mother later? Or maybe you could put assist first. Can you assist me to help my mother later, even though it's not as grammatically correct? So the first one is much better. Can you help me to assist my mother later?
Lan's got a good one. Lan from, can you remind me to call my mother later?
I like that one.
Well done. That's perfectly grammatically correct and fits in perfectly with the words.
So let's have a look again. Can you remind? I like that word, remind. So to help a person remember something, you might suggest the thing to them. You remind someone. These days, quite often on our mobile phones, our tablet devices, or even our computers, we will often have something that will remind us. It will give us some sort of warning or a message to remind us to do something. Can you remind me to call my mother later?
Well done, Lan. Ari's got the same sort of thing as well. Yes. Can you join me to visit my mother later? Can you join me to visit my mother later? Yep. Is that all right, Mr. Duncan?
Can you join me to? Now, I would make a suggestion there. Can you join me whilst visiting my mother later? So that actually is more correct with the grammar. Can you join me whilst visiting my mother later? So I want you to come with me. I want you to join me whilst I am there, whilst visiting my mother later. I want you to come along with me. I want you to join me. Can you give me something from my mother later? Can you give me something from my mother later? Can you give me something from my mother later? I would say, can you bring me something from my mother? So maybe your mother is going to give you something that maybe she owes you some money. Maybe she wants to give you some cakes. Can you bring me something from my mother later? We are asking you to collect something from my mother. So yes, it's interesting, Steve, when you see all of the spaces in the sentence, it is amazing how many words you can actually change around, or how many words you can use in those spaces. It is interesting, and it's a great way of improving your grammar. This, by the way, is one of the games I used to play in my adult class, one of my adult classes, when I used to teach in the classroom. I used to do this on the blackboard or on the whiteboard with my students in the adult classes, and it was always very popular.
There's somebody here called Luke English Addict.
Oh, okay.
Which is an excellent name, considering you're on a channel that is called English Addict. Don't know whether that's coincidence or whether you've engineered that deliberately. Can you tell me something about my mother later? Can you tell me something about my mother later?
I'm not sure what the context of that question would be.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
The words fit and it's grammatically correct.
But it doesn't really have any meaning.
Is that a question you would ask?
Can you tell me something about my mother later? Maybe if you needed some information about your mother, maybe you haven't spoken to your mother for a long time. So maybe in that situation, can you tell me something about my mother later? Yes, maybe, but the context is sort of something you probably wouldn't say normally. However, the grammar is quite good, but the meaning is very vague, and we wouldn't normally say that. But Luke, English Addict, the grammar is good. Can you tell me something about my mother later? Hello to Valeria. Can you give me something from my mother later? Can you give me something from my mother later? So yes, very similar. I'm asking you to bring something. Can you bring me something from my mother later? So in that sentence, it works much better grammatically.
Alina says, can you help me it's all right, I've done the classic thing, as I've started to read something out and then the screen's gone blank. Can you help me to convince my mother later? That's a good one.
Can you help me to convince
Alina, yes.
my mother later?
Or persuade. You could use the word, can you help me to persuade my mother later?
Yes.
You've been having a discussion. Or convince, equally good words. You've been having a discussion, your mother doesn't agree with something that you're saying, and you want somebody, maybe your sister or your brother, to help you out to convince your mother.
Yes.
Yeah, good one.
Maybe you have to take care of your mother. Maybe there is something you have to do for your mother. Can you help me to something you might do for your mother? Maybe she has difficulty getting around. Can you help me to what? My mother. I would say wash.
Wash?
Can you help me to wash my mother later? Maybe you are talking to one of your siblings, maybe a brother or sister, so you have to both go together to help your mother. Can you help me to wash? Or maybe we can also use the word feed. Feed your mother.
Yes.
So maybe she has to have something to eat. Maybe she can't do it herself.
This mother isn't in very good health.
No.
The mother you're talking about there, she needs washing and she needs feeding.
Yes. Does it sound like someone we know?
Yes. Can you help me to cheer up? But that's 2 words. Can you help me to amuse my mother later?
Yes.
Can you help me to kill my mother later? Maybe not.
Have you said that before?
That was a joke, Mr. Duncan.
Is that one you've said before? I don't know what to say to that. I'm slightly...
I went to a dark place there.
You went to a very dark place. All of the lights were definitely switched off. I think we've run that one to the end of its course.
Well done to everybody.
Well done, yes. Super duper.
Can you help me to wake my mother later?
Oh, yes.
Someone's put to awake. Can you remind me to wake my mother later?
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yes. Can you remind me to wake my mother later? Maybe she is on the bed having a sleep, snoring.
That was Sasuke 1022. Can you remind me to... You've put awake, but you would actually use the word wake. Can you help me to wake my mother later?
Yes, that's a good one.
She's fast asleep. Can you help me... Can you... No, that one doesn't work, sorry. Yes. Well done to everybody. Some very good suggestions there.
So this type of sentence is a request. So we are asking for something. And the reason why we know that is because, well, there are 2 things that give that away. First of all, the first 2 words are can you. Can you. So we know already that this is a request. And of course, at the end of the sentence, you can see a question mark. So we know that this is an interrogative question. We are asking, but we are also requesting something at the same time. We are asking a person if they can do something later. So again, we are talking about not now, not in the past, but later. So we are actually looking forward this time. We are asking if you can help someone later, not in the past, not in the present, but in the future.
Dazuli Adele says, another suggestion, can you call me or my mother later?
Can you call me
or my mother later?
But there's 2 spaces there.
Or my, yes. Can you call me or my mother? Oh, yes, sorry, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you call
That's
me?
Yes. Close.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, I think we've run the course of that one, so we will have another one. I hope you're enjoying this out there in YouTube land. We will do one more maybe, and then we'll have a little break. I've got some uses of the word up and down coming soon, so that might be a little bit intriguing. Who knows? I hope it is.
Can you drive me to meet my mother later?
Wait there, Steve.
Anyway, we're moving on.
Can you drive me to see my mother? Yes. So you are asking someone to take you there. Can you drive me to see my mother later?
That was Zoe. Well done.
Good. Here's another one now. We'll move on as time is ticking away. Oh, now this is a good one. I think Steve will definitely know the answer to this. I think Steve will definitely know this. All something noise something is something on my something.
Another tricky one, Mr. Duncan.
So this sounds like maybe a complaint. So I will give you a clue here. This is actually a complaint because I don't think this one is easy. So this is a complaint. You are making a complaint. Something is bothering you. Something is annoying you. Sometimes Steve will say this when he's trying to have his afternoon sleep and maybe all of the neighbours are outside cutting their grass. Steve might say this sentence.
Or you might say it, of course.
I might say it. I often say it, especially when I'm trying to do my live stream outside.
Suggestions, please, in the live chat.
Yeah. It does take a little bit of time for everything to come across on the live stream, but don't worry, it's okay. We've got plenty of time. Time is not that short. We can always extend. We can always go a little bit longer. So here's the next one. All something noise is... something is something on my something. I'm pretty sure Steve knows the answer to this already, don't you? I'm pretty sure you do. Because Steve has actually said this sentence. He said it. Definitely. Vitas. Oh, here we go, Steve. Vitas. All that noise bad is making on my health. Okay, there are some grammatical problems there. The grammar is slightly off, unfortunately. But I know what you're saying. All that noise. So in your sentence, you are saying all that noise is affecting my health. Unfortunately, it doesn't really fit into what we have there on the screen. But I know what you are trying to say. I know what you are trying to say there.
Tatiana's got a good one. All the noise outside is unbearable on my nerves.
You are close.
Yes.
That's quite good. However, once again, there is a slight problem with the grammar. All something noise. So all, we are talking about a certain thing. So when we talk about a certain thing, we might say all that, all that, or all this, all that noise, all this noise. So you are talking about something that is actually happening now. And quite often you will say all this noise if it is nearby. If it is far away, you might say that. Far away, that. Nearby, this. All this noise.
Yes, that's very close, Tatiana. Or you could, if you just put all this noise outside is getting on my nerves, that would fit. But you couldn't use unbearable on mine. You would have to change the on to.
Yes. Or
unbearable.
Is.
Yes.
Or is.
Is, yes, unbearable to my nerves, but you couldn't fit on my wouldn't work there.
Yes. In fact, what you would do is you would remove the end of that sentence completely.
Yes.
All that noise outside is unbearable, and that's it. So you could stop the sentence there. It is a very short sentence. So in fact, you don't need the end of the sentence. You don't need all of that, because unbearable shows that something is causing you stress. So you don't need to say that something is on your nerves, because unbearable has the same meaning. So in fact, you can make this sentence much shorter by using unbearable. All the noise, or that noise, or this noise outside is unbearable. It's unbearable. It means I can't stand it. It is driving me crazy.
Valentina's very close. One change of word in your sentence there would make it perfect. You're saying all the noise outside is going on my nerves. So if you just change the word going for getting, that would be perfect.
Yes.
But very, very, very good. Very close.
Yes. And in that sense, when we are saying something is getting, it means it is creating a feeling. something is getting on your nerves. It is starting to affect you. It is getting on your nerves.
Well, Francesca's got it perfectly right.
Okay,
Francesca Bovey. All that noise outside is getting on my nerves. Gets a thumbs up from me.
Yeah. All that noise outside is getting on my nerves.
And Corey's got that as well.
And if something gets on your nerves, it means it is annoying. It is irritating. So maybe I am trying to do my live stream in the house, and perhaps outside my window there is a terrible noise. I might say, all that noise outside is getting on my nerves. Is there another way of expressing that, Steve? Get on my what? Is there anything else you could say instead of nerves?
Getting on my wick.
Yes. It's a great one, isn't it? I love that one. I don't know what it means, by the way, or why we say it. But something can get on your wick. On your wick. Now, I think, if I remember rightly, I think this has something to do with a thing that maybe lights a candle. So if something is making your candle wet, the candle will not light, which is annoying. Something that is holding you back or creating discomfort. So something is getting on my wick. That noise, all that noise outside is getting on my wick.
Or nerves.
Yes. There is another one, by the way, that's rude. Steve. Something might get on your T-I-T-S.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I won't say it, but I have spelt it. So that is often used in British English. So quite often, if something gets on your nerves, if something is annoying, we can say that it gets on your T-I-T-S. Hello to Sasuke. All this noise around is beating. All this noise around is beating on my head. Maybe instead of beating, you might say, oh no, I suppose you can't really, because you would say then in my head. So because we are saying on, that normally means physically. So a noise normally does not affect you physically, but it might affect you mentally. So if something gets on your nerves, if something is pounding in your head, it is pounding in your head.
Yes.
So the sound is so loud, it feels as if it's inside your head. Boom, boom, boom. It is pounding in my head, not on my head, because that normally refers to a physical action. Maybe if a person is hitting you on the head.
Yes, people are using beating on my head or striking on my head or disturbing on my head. None of those words are actually correct.
No, because normally that is a physical thing.
Yes.
So if something is really causing physical damage, maybe a person will punch you on the head, boom. They will hit you, boom, on the head. But maybe a sound, if we are talking about sound, the sound feels as if it's in your head. It's in your head. Or it might pound in your ears. So it is causing stress. Hence the term on my nerves. Something that is causing difficulty or stress is getting on my nerves. I know, Steve, sometimes you find certain things irritating, don't you, Steve?
Definitely, yes.
One of the things, we were talking about webcams earlier, weren't we? And do you know what I'm thinking of now? What is the one? There is one thing that you said that always annoys you when you're talking to your work colleagues?
When they bring children on.
Yes. I don't know why. Steve gets a bit annoyed when everyone starts to show off with their children.
That's another thing, that people like to draw attention to themselves
Look at my
on
baby.
live streams, on work Zoom meetings, by bringing their children or their pets. So they have their child there. Oh, look at my child. Everyone's going, ah. Or they bring their dog or their cat on so that they can draw a little attention to themselves.
Yes.
And I find that very annoying.
Because it's distracting, especially when maybe you are doing some business. Maybe you are supposed to be professional. So maybe it breaks up the atmosphere as well. But I know this is one thing that annoys Steve sometimes. So next week, if there are any of Steve's work colleagues watching next week, bring all of your children that you have in the house and get them all onto the web camera. All of them, every child that you have in your house. Maybe you have an extended family staying with you in lockdown. Just bring them all into the room with you and put them on the camera in front of Steve. There you go. You can have some pleasure from tormenting Mr. Steve.
I think that proved quite difficult for quite a lot of people, that one. That was quite a difficult one to get the grammar correct, to fit in with the words. There aren't many that are actually correct in terms of the grammar. But we had at least a couple that were perfectly correct.
I'm just looking at Sergio. Sergio's put some very funny messages on here using the word that we spelt earlier. Very interesting.
Haven't seen that one.
So don't forget, next week Steve's colleagues get the other thing that's annoying is when someone gets their cat or one of their pets, and the pet will come in and there will be, oh, look at my cat, look, oh. But you're supposed to be working. You're supposed to be having a conference call with your fellow colleagues. So next week, if you have any animals, also bring the animals as well onto the webcam.
I think people do it because if they don't say anything constructive or they say anything incorrect, then they're already immune from criticism, because you can't shout at somebody or criticize them or accuse them of anything if they've got a child with them.
Definitely.
So I think people are being very clever by bringing their children on, because they know full well that they can't be told off by their boss.
Yes.
Because they've got a child with them. So I think people are being a bit clever when they're doing that. But I mean, we had people, in order to draw attention to themselves, if somebody's got a child or a dog or a cat, if somebody hasn't got any of those things, they'll resort to soft toys as well. So I often see it sort of escalating. Somebody will come on with a soft toy, and then someone will think, well, I can do better than that. So they come on with a cat or a dog, and then somebody then comes on with a child, like a 3-year-old child or a baby.
It's almost like a competition.
It's that they're trying to upstage each other all the time to see who can have the cutest thing on camera with them.
I have one baby, but the other person has 2 small kittens. Well, of course, the kittens are much cuter than the baby, but maybe someone then has 3 kittens, and one of them is really tiny. It's so small you can actually put it in your hand, and then everyone's going, oh no, oh that kitten is very small. It's a very small kitten. So everyone is trying to outdo each other. Everyone is trying to outdo the other person. I think so.
Well, Mr. Duncan, it's 4:00.
Yes.
I'm going to go and put the tea cakes and the tea on.
It's almost time to have some tea. Now, when I say tea, I mean a cup of tea and, of course, a tea cake as well. I hope you've enjoyed Mr. Steve's little visit. And congratulations once again, Steve, on your wonderful grass. It's looking great. I can't wait to run around on your grass.
A lot of people celebrating Eid today, I've noticed. So have a lovely time. And celebrating Eid, if you are celebrating that. And I will look forward to seeing you all again next week.
Yeah.
And I'm now going to make a cup of tea and a tea cake. And you've really made us think today, Mr. Duncan. Really made us think with your word games. They're getting harder and harder.
That's the idea.
Yes. Well, goodbye to everybody and see you all again next week.
Catch Mr. Steve later. There he goes. That is Mr. Steve. He is with us every Sunday. And of course, you can catch me every Sunday as well from 2 p.m. UK time. Yes, I hope you enjoyed that with Mr. Steve. Very nice. I'm not going just yet. Everyone seems to think I'm going. I'm not going. You have a little bit more time with me. Ooh, Mr. Duncan, thank you very much. I can hear you saying, oh, I want to go and do something else. Fair enough. Here we go then. Before we finish today, I want to show you another word. In fact, we're going to have a look at two words. In fact, right now, if I can find them on my screen, I will put them on right now. There we go. We are looking at words connected to being up and being down. So first of all, we are going to look at upwards. Upwards. So there are many words we can use, many phrases, in fact, that are connected to the word up. Many. So let's have a look at the first one, shall we? Okay then, Mr. Duncan, we'll have a look at the first one, shall we? Okay, no problem. Here we go. You might have to be patient, though. Come on, can we have the first word, please? Oh, there it is. Up in the clouds. If you are up in the clouds, of course, we are talking about something that is figurative. So you are not really up in the clouds, but you are feeling delighted. You are feeling content and happy about something. You are up in the clouds. You are feeling very high because you are so happy and overjoyed with something. You feel as if you are up in the clouds because, well, something is bringing you a lot of joy. You are up in the clouds. Shall we have another one? Reveal the next one. Oh, yes, that's good. Up on your luck. Up on your luck. If a person is up on their luck, or you might be up on your luck, it means that you are suddenly having a lot of good fortune. Maybe suddenly you are having a lot of lucky occurrences. You are having a lot of good things happen to you. You are up on your luck. Maybe you go to the casino and you gamble some of your money. And then, wow, suddenly you win a lot of money. We can say that you are up on your luck. Things are going in your favour. Things are going in your direction. You are up on your luck. Another one. To look up someone. If you look up someone, it means you search for them. You try to find their name or their phone number. You look up someone. Or, in this sense, you can look up to someone, which means admire. So you can look up someone or look up to someone, which means admire. I really look up to you. Maybe your teacher is a really good teacher. Perhaps you look up to your teacher. You admire that person. Look up to someone. The next one, please. Oh, yes. Maybe your earnings are up. Perhaps your earnings are up. If your earnings are up, it means you are making money. You are not losing money. Your earnings are up. They are going up. You have increased your earnings. Your earnings are up. They are up. Corrie says, cheer up. Cheer up. Yes. Cheer up. Cheer up. Maybe a person is not feeling very happy. Maybe they are feeling a little gloomy. You might say, cheer up. Cheer up. Here's another one. To be on your uppers. Oh, I like this one. To be on your uppers. If you are on your uppers, it means you are not doing very well. You are not doing very well. You are on your uppers. It means your legs are sticking in the air. You are on your uppers, or maybe you are suffering badly through something. You are on your uppers. It sounds like it might be positive, but unfortunately, it is not. Here's another one. Oh, bing. Upkeep. Upkeep. When we say upkeep, it is the word that describes doing something to keep another thing going. Quite often you will have to clean your house to make sure that the house doesn't become dirty or full of germs. The upkeep, or maybe the money that you have to spend keeping something good or something looking good. The upkeep. So upkeep generally means to look after something to make sure it stays looking good, or maybe you have to spend money on something to keep it looking good, so it will run smoothly. Maybe a house, maybe a business. The upkeep. Upkeep. So another use of the word up. Here comes another word. One-upmanship. One-upmanship. This is something that happens a lot in real life. Maybe a person tries to compete with another person. They try to do something better than the other person. They practice one-upmanship. You try to do something better than the other person. You try to beat them. You are very competitive. So what one-upmanship means, you are trying to do better, or to get better, or to do more than someone else. Maybe you are trying to get more success than someone else. We call it one-upmanship. I think we have a couple more. Oh, here's a good one. I like this one. Uppity. A person who is uppity. If a person is uppity, it means they are a little arrogant, snooty. Maybe they look down on other people. They think they are much better. A person who is uppity. An uppity person makes themselves seem better. They have a very high opinion of themselves. They are very uppity. I like that one. You might put up with something. If you put up with something, it means you have to bear that thing. You have to take it. Something that is happening that is annoying you, you have to put up with it. I have to put up with all this noise. There is so much noise around here. Unfortunately, I can't complain. I have to put up with the noise. I can't do anything about it. Unfortunately, I have to put up with all this noise. It can be annoying. I think that might be it. Oh no, there's one more. There is one more on our list. To be on the up and up. A person who is on the up and up is a person who can be trusted. They are a person who is honest. A person who is not going to deceive you. They are not cheating. They are on the up and up. The up and up. To be on the up and up. It means a person can be trusted. They are law-abiding. They don't break the rules. They are an honest person. They are on the up and up. I like that one as well. I think that's all of them now. Yes, that is all of those. So let's go to the next one. We have up. Now we have down, of course. Next we have down. Thank you very much for your company today. Before we look at the down words. My fever is going up and down. Yes, when you get a fever, if you catch fever, your temperature will definitely go up. Definitely. I do like your comments today. You are having a good time out there in YouTube land. Thank you very much to Maria. Oh, I look up to Mr. Duncan. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. How lovely. So we've had up, and now we are going to have a look at some down words. You can express the word down in many ways. For example, you might be down on your luck. You might be down on your luck. If you are down on your luck, it means things are not going your way. Unfortunately, things are going badly for you. You are down on your luck. Maybe you have no money. Maybe you have nowhere to live. Maybe you have a lot of bad fortune. Things are not going your way. You are down on your luck. So maybe the opposite of to be up on your luck. So if you are up on your luck, you are having luck. You are having good fortune. If you are down on your luck, it means things are going badly. They are not going well, unfortunately. You are down on your luck. Here's another one. Down in the dumps. If a person is down in the dumps, it means they feel unhappy. I'm down in the dumps. Oh, cheer up. There's no need to be down in the dumps. A person who is down in the dumps feels sad, unhappy. Here's another one. We will be going after this for those who want to go to bed. I know there are a lot of people who want to go to bed. So if you want to go to bed, you will be able to go to bed in a few moments. Down and out. A person who has nowhere to live. A person who has to sleep in the street can be described as a down and out. A person who is, unfortunately, due to no fault of their own, a person who is homeless. They are down and out. Here's another one. Maybe your earnings are down. Perhaps your earnings are down. So you can have your earnings go up, but also if your business is doing badly, and I have a feeling at the moment many businesses are not doing well, you might find that your earnings are down. You don't have so much money going into your business. Your earnings are going down. To be on a downer. To be on a downer means you are feeling unhappy. You are on a downer. You are feeling glum, gloomy, unhappy, sad about a certain situation. You are on a downer. There's no need to be on a downer. Oh, it's okay. He's not feeling very happy today. He's on a downer. Your mood is not good. Here's another one. To do something on the lowdown. Ooh. Now this is often used in American English. If you do something on the down low, not the low down, the down low, to do something on the down low means you do something in secret. You do something secretively. You do it so no one else knows what it is you are getting up to. You do something secretly without other people finding out. You do it on the down low. Interesting. Often used in American English. Here's another one. You might put someone down. If you put someone down, it means you criticize them. You criticize a person. You say bad things about them when they are not nearby. So maybe they are not near, so you talk to someone else about that person. Oh, what about Mr. Steve? Did you see him today? Oh dear. Oh, isn't it a shame? Oh, so you might say, oh, Mr. Duncan, don't put Mr. Steve down. Don't be so critical. Don't talk about him behind his back. Don't say negative words or things about him. I think we have maybe two more, and then we are definitely going. You might be down in the mouth. This also means to be unhappy, to be sad or miserable. You are down in the mouth. Oh. Why do you look so down in the mouth? To put something down to. Now this is normally used when we are looking for a reason for something. The reason why something happens. The reason why it is occurring. You put one thing down to something else. So maybe I feel unhappy today. I feel really unhappy today. I put it down to the miserable weather. So I am saying that the cause of my sadness is the bad weather. So the weather is bad. I feel down. I feel unhappy. I feel sad. I put my mood down to the weather because there is no sunshine, and that's why I feel unhappy. You put it down to the bad weather. The reason why something is happening. And that is it. That is it. I think we have all of those. Yes, I think we do. So words connected to up and down. There are many more, by the way. I'm sure you have some of your own out there. Thank you to your... Oh, thank you very much for Mr. Steve. Thank you very much for your lesson. That's very kind of you. Thank you also, Artsby. Thank you to Valeria. I have to go now. Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Thank you, Valeria. I am also going in a moment. It is almost time for me to go as well. Valeria, today was a wonderful class. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, I am with you Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. The next time you will see me here will be on Wednesday. I am back with you on Wednesday from 2 p.m. UK time. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. I hope it has been helpful, and I hope you have enjoyed it. Can I wish you a good weekend? Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I know there is only a little bit left for some people. Maybe it is morning. Maybe you are still in the morning where you are. So you have the rest of Sunday still to come. Thanks for your company. Thank you, Robin. Thank you also, Richard. Thank you, Vitas. Thank you also, Andy. Thank you, Siad. Oh, that's a good one. Down tools. It is an action. So if someone down tools, if they down tools, it means they stop working. They stop working normally as a protest. So sometimes people will stop working because they are protesting. They will down tools. A good expression? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Sujin. Thank you, Lek. Thank you also to Mosen. Lovely. Nice to see so many people here on the live stream. I will be back with you on Wednesday, 2 p.m. UK time. Have a good weekend. Have a good week. And I will see you on Wednesday. You know what time it is? Yes, 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm on next. I suppose also you can give me a little like and a little subscribe. If you like and subscribe, it will put a big smile on my face. Thank you very much. That is definitely it. I think all of the business has been done today. I've got through everything. Isn't that amazing? See you later. Take care. Thank you, Palmyra. Thank you also, Fly Away. Thank you very much to Beatrice. Thank you very much to Maria. And I will see you all here on Wednesday. This is Mr. Duncan saying thanks for watching. See you later. And of course, until the next time we meet here on YouTube, stay safe, stay happy, and of course, ta-ta for now.